Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Wader Hamadani Anuamo dengan NIM J1A119324 dari peminatan kelas Kesehatan Lingkungan 2019. Baik, di sini saya akan mempresentasikan hasil pekerjaan saya yang diberikan oleh Bapak dosen dengan judul The Application of Risk Values to Determine the Distribution of Risk Factors for Osteoporosis in Postmenopausal Women. Next, osteoporosis is the most common bone disease in humans that cause a bone fracture occurring with trauma or after a minimum trauma as complication, usually after menopause. In the next 10 years, the risk of osteoporosis will increase to 15%. Some risk factors for osteoporosis are age, sex, weight, drugs, and combination of bone mass that is inherited by parents, lifestyle, and the pattern of heavy alcohol drinkers. Age contribute to bone loss and fractures. Bone mineral density was significantly lower in women with alcohol intake of more than 30 grams or day. Compared to non-drinkers, smoking has long been known as a factor affecting on osteoporosis. An analysis of 48 studies showed that the more women smoked, the higher the risk for fractures. Experts argue that genetic factors play a role. 60 to 80% of bone mass, while the environment affects 20 to 40%. Next slide. This study was to apply risk values to investigate the distribution of risk factor of osteoporosis in menopause in Palembang community. Next slide. Methods. Cross-sectional approach was applied in this study in order to know the distribution of risk factor for osteoporosis in postmenopausal women at sub-district in Palembang, Sumatera Selatan, Indonesia. The studied population was women who reside in sub-district of Palembang. Samples are all postmenopausal women in the sub-district of Palembang with age between 50 to 7.9 years. The sub-district was randomly selected based on the completeness of population data to facilitate the conduct of research, and then carried out questionnaires to women. After that, the data on risk factor will be incorporated in the FRAX score to earn the percentage major osteoporotic and hip fracture for the next 10 years. Next slide. Results. This research was conducted by taking the data directly in postmenopausal women and risk factor at age 50 to 7.9. years in sub-district of Palembang. Retrieval of data obtained from the distribution of questionnaires to respondents. Fieldwork began on Monday, August January 21st to the 15th of September 2011. Below are the results and discussion based on the issues and research purpose. The value of major facts osteoporosis most often found in the percentage of more than 20%, 108, while the value of hip fracture most often found in the percentage of more than 3%, 90 people. Next slide. In this study, we used several questions depend on risk factor of osteoporosis in France and to know the profile of these values in postmenopause. We are involving 111 elderly women with age between 50 to 25 years old. Many years ago, the value of hip fracture most often found in the percentage of more than 3%, 90 people. The reports hence recognized the importance of other risk factors for new osteoporotic measurement in addition to reduce BMD dependency. It has modified the conception of BMD as the gold standard or element for decision making in the management of osteoporosis in primary health care setting. Next slide. We found that from 111 respondents, 3 women have major osteoporotic bones such as bone arms, shoulders, and spine. Score more than 3% and 20% women have hip fracture or hip bone. Score more than 3%, it means 2 women will have a risk to get possibility fracture that can be occurred in the next 10 years. It is required counseling and provision of basic knowledge to the public about the and provision of a basic knowledge to the public about the various risk factors associated with the incidence of osteoporosis. This includes lifestyle, physical activity, and sport. In addition, it also necessary author as to the community about what the things that can lead to osteoporosis and how to avoid them, especially in terms of physical activity, drugs, and drinking alcohol drinking habits. Baik, itulah hasil presentasi dari saya. Mohon maaf bila ada kesalahan kata. Kurang dan lebihnya mohon dimaafkan. Dengan ucapan wabillahi taufiq walhidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.